Thank you for stopping by Ballistic BBQ. Got a little treat for you today. I'm bringing you on a tour of my favorite barbecue joint here in San Diego County. This is Grand Ole BBQ on Old Highway 80, which is the Dixie Overland Highway. Look it up. It's got a lot of history there. But this place, my family and I love it. Not only is the food really good, but it's just got a vibe. It's got an indoor dining area, which has got this kind of a retro lodge feel to it. I mean, you know, animal mounts on the wall. It's got a really nice bar inside where they're making some killer craft cocktails and serving beer and wine, and an outdoor seating area that has plenty of seating. It's got fire pits when it's cold, misters when it's hot. It's got a bar, craft cocktails going on, beer, wine. It's got cornhole for the adults to play, an area for the kids to play, and a stage where they're rocking live music on the weekends. So again, it's a destination with some great food. I was here a couple days ago hanging out with the owner, Andy, his head pitmaster, Harrison, manager, John, and got to know the motivation behind opening up Grand Ole BBQ. Here's what I got. All right, I am here. What do you call this, a pit corral?
Wait, the smokehouse.
The smokehouse.
Smokehouse, or yeah. Right now I'm drawing a blank.
Andy Harris, he's the owner and creator, the father of Grand Ole BBQ. And Harrison, I don't even know what your last name is. Do you mind?
Green.
You want your name out there?
Sure.
Harrison Green, and he has been anointed head pitmaster by Andy.
Yes.
Of course, Andy oversees everything you do.
Yes, it does.
Wait, you guys want to give me a tour of your smokehouse?
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure. I think the thing that we're proudest of is we're pretty sure that we are the largest smokehouse west of Texas, and I can barely think of many Texas places that are bigger than this and that can produce more than this anywhere, except for what's the place in the hill country in Austin?
The Salt Lick?
Yeah, Salt Lick. Salt Lick has like 1,000 old hickories, so they're bigger than here. But yeah, because Salt Lick, you know how they have that
Big open pit.
That's all a rouge.
I know. So my understanding, and I'm not going to totally shit talk them, but they're cooking, they're smoking everything, refrigerating them, then reheating it, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
I mean, I think to a certain extent, but that meat on that opening, that's how they used to barbecue on that thing.
Yeah.
But that's just, they barbecue on the old hickories, and then they stick it on that thing and let it just kind of keep warm on there.
Yeah, I think open pit cooking was originally like kind of a southern Texas thing.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know.
Tex-Mex.
So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 gigantic offsets.
1,000 gallons.
1,000 gallons made out of propane tanks.
Yeah, Tim Schoen at Smokers Custom Pits in Central Texas makes those for me.
There's a little plug right there. And Harrison, why don't you tell us about those beautiful chrome non-offsets back here?
So these are Old Hickory, and these are smokers actually a little bit more from my neck of the woods in Missouri.
Okay.
We like to cook our hot links on these. These are propane assist, so your firewood goes in there. And then this one's actually still running, so we can get it in here real quick. It's a rotisserie in here.
Nice.
We got double racks all the way around.
And I know when I came here today, you were pulling a lot of meat and putting it in, I guess, where you hold the stuff.
Yeah,
so that's why this is empty right now.
Yes.
Oh, there's some veggies back there.
Yeah, we're smoking some veggies for our green chili.
Okay.
For later to be made.
Nice.
That's all we got on right now.
So this is your brainchild, right, Andy?
What's that?
This configuration?
Sure. I mean, everybody had their input, but I don't know if you used to come when all the pits were over in the back of the restaurant.
I remember that, yeah. That was kind of cool, actually.
That was cool, so people could see it, but we ultimately needed more seating, and it just ultimately was something that I wanted a smokehouse.
So I want to point out that these are actually legit offsets. There's no assist here other than babysitting them and making sure.
It's a total babysitting job.
Correct.
And what temp are you guys running these at?
275.
275? This is nice. And The thing I'm really stoked about is the wood you're using. What is this wood?
It's all local white oak, which would be the closest thing to post oak in Central Texas.
Yes.
Which is, post oak is a white oak.
Yes.
So it's pretty darn similar to post oak. And it's fairly local to California, and it comes from, a lot of this comes from, I was told by my wood guy, a lot of it comes from like Kernville area.
So Harrison, I was out here when you were unloading the pit, you know, the briskets and everything. What time are these briskets actually going on? I mean, how long are you cooking them for?
Weekdays, they go on around 8 p.m., I would say, and they get pulled off anywhere between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m.
Who gets the job of babysitting these things?
Yeah.
It's a dual process. We got a couple guys on shift, but I'm usually the one doing all the pulling and through the night. Let's see, pork butts take about the same amount of time as briskets, and then whenever I get in on my shift, I put on all the short cook stuff: the beef ribs, the pork ribs,
The
tri-tips, turkey, hot links.
And Andy, tell me, what are you seasoning these with? Because I know in Texas they're very particular. Well, in Central Texas,
We're doing the same thing. I mean, for the briskets, it's salt and pepper. Beef ribs, salt and pepper. Turkey, salt and pepper. But everything else, any pork product, it has a more elaborate pork rub on it, which is pretty simple too.
Tell me about how you came about creating Grand Ole BBQ.
The main thing was, so yeah, I spent my summers in Central Texas. My family's from there, and I always wanted barbecue like that here. To be honest with you, I didn't think San Diego had the most horrible barbecue, because I always, and I still do, love the Wrangler and the barbecue.
Oh yeah, and that's old school Texas.
Yes, that's like 1930s
Yes.
style Texas barbecue.
Yes.
And I still enjoy it. I'll go to the Wrangler in El Cajon at least, I try to go at least once a month, but
Shoulder Clyde and
yeah. I love it. It's just so different from what I'm doing, and I grew up eating it, and so I still love it. But really, other than that, there was a lot of bad barbecue in San Diego.
Oh yeah.
A ton of bad barbecue. So I started just really making my own barbecue. I got my first barbecue smoker, that is, barbecue for people who don't know. I don't know. I think it was the year 1996, I remember, when I bought it. And I bought my first smoker just trying to recreate the flavors of my youth. And I did pretty well. And I got pretty much all the recipes down pat. The one beast that was always my nemesis was the brisket. The brisket I would nail maybe a quarter of the time, trying something new every time, just trying to get it right. And that was part of the problem, is brisket is, you've got to keep it simple. And basically, I got through some connections. I have a lot of mutual friends through the music industry that my wife and I used to work in, with Aaron Franklin.
Okay.
And this is before he even had a brick and mortar. And even before he had a brick and mortar, I'd email back and forth with him. And he was just giving me hints, and not straight up hints, but he would straight up just tell me what to do with the brisket. And so he really walked me through the brisket.
So, and you're wrapping them. I know it's pink butcher pepper.
Yep.
You're not injecting.
No.
Minimal trimming.
Minimal.
How about when you wrap it? Are you wrapping it with anything in it? Like
we'll squirt it down with a little mixture of, it's mainly water with a little bit of Worcestershire sauce.
No tallow in there or anything?
No. That whole tallow thing I see on YouTube and stuff, I think there's enough tallow in that frickin' brisket to you don't need any more fat in a piece of brisket.
So
yeah, I see a lot of things on YouTube talking about how they think that there's more than salt and pepper, and they do all this fancy stuff. No, I've been there now, that's all they do. I think they're doing a lot more. They're not doing a lot more. It's salt and pepper, spraying it down and wrapping it, and just making sure the temperature stays good.
Gotcha.
And that's what makes a nice tender piece of brisket.
Yeah, and you think about it, back in the day, I mean, they didn't even have a pit probe. You know, they were going nothing but feel.
Yeah. And we don't, for brisket, we'll use a probe for everything but brisket. Brisket, it's hard. You use if we're mass producing and say I have someone not like Harrison here, or just like, if I tell somebody else, hey, pull it at 202, it's probably the best bet
Yeah.
for it to being done. But if it's a real pit master, no, you do it by feel, because I've had briskets done at 195.
Oh, yeah.
I've had brisket done at 210.
It's done when it's done.
It's done when it's done, and really it's by poking the flat, because the point is always going to be have a nice feel. It's going to have a nice feel faster than the flat. Once that flat has a nice feel, then you kind of know it's done.
I agree. I always tell people that are, that I'm talking to, they say it's not baking cookies.
No, no, it's not baking cookies.
And Harry Sue has a kind of a cool thing that he does with the probe when he does his classes, is he pokes the probe, through the paper, and he tells his class that it should feel like sticking the probe into a jar of peanut butter and pulling it out. It should have that same amount of give. I say,
and not everybody's touched these, but I say it feels like a fake boot.
You heard that here first.
When you poke it.
So did you tell Guy Fieri that?
I don't think so. I should have. So yeah.
All right. So I'm going to broach the subject right now.
Are you just going to go for it right now?
I'm going to go for it right now.
Okay.
Then we'll get back with it later.
Okay.
So borracho is Spanish, kind of a slang, I guess, for drunk.
Yeah.
What the hell were you drinking when you came up with El Borracho style barbecue? The way you played up, it's a certain option on your menu.
Yeah, I could see where you would think I was drunk.
Well, I'm really curious to see what my viewers in Central Texas have to say about this. So let's talk about it.
I'll tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you guys the flat out truth, which I haven't really told any. I've told my friends and whatnot the truth on this situation, but basically the producers of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives called me and said they were considering going to a restaurant, and that's a huge marketing step for the restaurant. We just opened, and I really wanted that to happen. And just while I was talking with the producer, my mind started wandering towards, I've watched the show quite a bit in my life. He's been to 1,000 barbecue restaurants. He's not going to come to a barbecue restaurant in San Diego to just eat straight barbecue. He's not going to do it. And so I basically made El Borracho up on the phone with the producer. Literally made it up then. I'd seen things in my head before or whatever, like people doing light little versions of it. And then me and Chef Ami, who used to work here, kind of decked it all out and made it more elaborate, and it worked.
Is it a hit for you guys?
Yes, it definitely sells a lot. Now we El Borracho anything and everything. Like in the beginning, people would say, well, can we El Borracho some turkey? And we go like, are you freaking crazy? And now we just let them do it, and they Borracho just about everything.
So I have to tell you, this is literally my favorite barbecue place in San Diego. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
And I've boasted about this place to a lot of my friends who live in, Central Texas and the Hill Country and everything. And I am going to try El Borracho. I'm going to try it today.
El Borracho was supposed to just be with the beef rib.
Yeah,
that was it.
I remember that.
That was all it was supposed to be. Now it's El Borracho.
Whatever.
El Borracho a burger.
I'm not going to El Borracho. And also, you know what? I'm not going to try this today, but one thing I do want to try is your steaks here.
We don't have steaks anymore.
Oh, you've got those up the menu?
COVID took care of that one for us.
Thanks, COVID.
Yeah, the price is just
ridiculous.
The price of meat is just so crazy now that it's just one less piece of protein that I had to take off the menu.
Especially here in California.
Yes.
Beef is ridiculous. I know for me, briskets it's like 100% increase in price.
Right.
It's crazy. Anyway, you're going to see me try El Borracho, and I'm waiting for. Bring it on, Central Texas guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. So the restaurant has just opened, and it's a Thursday, like noon. So we're just getting some trickling. Most of the people are inside eating because it's a lot cooler in there than it is out here in the beautiful patio that they have. But I'm excited because we're gonna get a sampling of the menu. And again, my wife and I come here a lot, but I've never had the Borracho rib, Borracho anything. So it's a first for you guys. Well, for me and you, you're going to see me eat a Borracho rib, and I cannot wait to hear the reaction from you guys, because again, I've been very hesitant at trying it. So stand by. All right, Andy, Talk about this, man. What is it?
That's the monstrosity that you were speaking of, the El Borracho Beef Rib in its original form.
So what? Tell me about this. What is this thing? I mean,
It's a bed of polenta, which used to be more of a sweet corn pudding that we've changed now more to a cheesy, creamy polenta. And then it's our homemade queso, and then the Frito relish, which is Fritos, red onions, Serrano chilies.
yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It's like Phil's barbecue. It's not going to be bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like, it's not bad food. It's really good food, actually. It's just decadent. And so if you want to go that extra mile on the decadent, hit the El Borracho Beef Rib.
So, was there inspiration from the Frito pie in Texas on this thing, or is it just?
I mean, yeah, we sell the Frito pie here, and Frito's very much a Texas thing, so that's where the Texas Frito relish was inspired from. It's kind of a...
And just for the record, you were not drunk. And
I was not drunk. It's just a drunken rib.
And the only thing you were smoking that day was meat, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Only the meat.
All right. Well, I'm going to dig in and give this a try, man. So I got my newly hired cameraman,
It's...
Andy Harris. He's going to quit this gig. All right. I'm going to eat it with a knife.
All right, here we are, live El Borracho cam. Live from Flint Springs, California.
Let's get a good close.
Look at that.
Nice looking. And I know, I mean, whenever I come here, I get the beef ribs. Okay, so I got to get some Fritos and some of this relish on here. And this is pickled serrano and pickled white, red onion.
It's not pickled serrano, it's fresh serrano. It kind of gets pickled after it's been sitting in there with there's some lime juice in there.
Okay.
So it kind of gets pickled. Yeah. You've never had the El Borracho? Never. You're fine, there's another fork in there.
No. I almost hate to admit it, but this is really effing good.
Yeah, it's just a decadent thing that it's fun to do now and then. But don't get me wrong, I do agree with you to a certain extent that beef ribs are good enough on their own. Hey, but for a special occasion, do it up.
The thing that's nice is it's not too spicy at all. The Fritos are adding a nice crunch, nice saltiness, and the lime is freaking popping. I'm really getting that nice hit of lime.
Nice.
Yeah, this is really good.
There you go, take a bite.
And I love polenta. Or should we say grits?
Grits, it's polenta. I mean, it's not grits. It's not hominy.
This is really good.
Yeah. See? And Guy Fieri did confirm with me that if I would have just put a straight barbecue restaurant, he never would have came.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're a genius,
That's right.
like Phil. And for my viewers, I'm on an episode of Triple D.
Which episode?
Well, actually, it's there. I'll tell you off camera. So your assignment is to find me because it's on YouTube and leave a comment. Tell me which episode it is. All right, I'm here with Quinn, the kitchen manager at Grand Ole BBQ. What do you have going on here, Quinn?
I got some spare ribs that we're cutting up right now.
Nice. And how are these seasoned?
With our secret pork rub.
Secret pork rub.
Oh yeah.
Nice. All right, Quinn. I already know what this is.
Oh yeah.
What is it?
It's brisket time, baby.
Look at that. That is some meat jello right there. Nice. You know how to do it.
Oh yeah.
Killer mark. Nice.
Alrighty. Yeah, let's go.
That looks good. Now what do we got?
Alright, now we got some turkey.
And I don't know of any other barbecue places in San Diego that they do turkey. Wow, it smells really good.
Oh yeah. This turkey's not like anybody's turkey you've ever had before. This melts in your mouth like butter.
Is that just salt and pepper on there? Or is it...
Yes, sir. Salt and pepper, and then it's cooked in its own juices with a little bit of butter and chicken broth. Yummy, yummy.
Wow. It's sandwich time, man.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do with this turkey, Quinn?
Oh, we're gonna make ourselves a nice turkey sandwich here.
So you got a bolillo there.
The bread in there. Grab the juice.
So what is that? Is that like...
That's the au jus that the turkey's cooked in.
Right.
Give it a little drenching.
That's killer, man.
Oh yeah.
That looks good. I know they're kind of famous for this turkey sandwich, and I have to admit I've never had it. I've been here a zillion times.
It's really good.
I'm going to try it. All right. Now what?
All right, now we got some hot links for everybody.
And these are house made?
We make them at Valley Farms.
Okay, Valley Farms. I love those guys.
Yeah, good guys. It's a pork beef blend.
Money.
Interesting.
All right, brother. Talk
All right.
about it.
We got our brisket nachos here with our queso and pico,
That's a bunch of good
sour cream, guacamole, all made in-house.
All right. How about showing us some beef ribs and some tri-tip?
Unfortunately, we're all out of those today.
All right. Like all good barbecue places, when they run out of things, it's just off the menu. And I was a little late.
Yeah, just a little bit.
You saw the El Borracho. So if you find yourself in San Diego, definitely want to stop by Grand Ole BBQ. They have 2 locations. I'll have the links down below. Thanks again for stopping by. If you're not subscribed, please hit that red subscribe button. Make sure you ring the bell. Thumb it up if you like it. I hope you did. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I've got plans. I'm not going to turn into a vlogging channel, but I definitely want to do more videos like this. Anyway, see you in the next video. Cheers.